Thank you, thank you. Wine to the people.
Hey everybody, Keith, East Village Wine Geek here. One of the things that confuses people often is a term called Valpolicella. People sometimes don't know what it is. People sometimes think that Valpolicella is an actual grape, but it's not. It's actually a blend. And today I want to talk about the area, Valpolicella, and the wines. There's a region in the northern part of Italy called the Veneto. Everybody probably knows the Veneto, the Venetian Empire at one point in history. In the Veneto, there is an area. That area is called Valpolicella. Roughly translated into English, it means the Valley of Caves or the Valley of Cellars, because there is a lot of mountains in that area and there happens to be a lot of caves. In that area, they grow three grapes: Corvina, Rondinella, and Molinara. These three grapes make up a wine called Valpolicella. So basically they've named the wine after the area in which these grapes are grown. So when you have a Valpolicella, you're having a blend. That seems pretty simple, but it gets a little crazy from here on out. There are 3 to 4 to 5 styles of this blend that you can encounter when you're going to a wine bar or a restaurant. And I'm here to break these down for you. So first, let's talk about Valpolicella, the wine. We have a wine that says Valpolicella on it. This is a nice one. The name of the winemaker is called Brigaldara. This is a very wonderful example of the blend. In the 1960s, Valpolicella was introduced into the American market. The problem with that is it was great that we had it. The problem was nothing was really explained about it. This is a blend, like any other blend, whether you have a Merlot Cab blend or a Cab Franc Cabernet Sauvignon blend. This is a blend of the three grapes we just talked about: Corvina, Rondinella, and Molinara. And Corvina, the first grape that I mentioned, is the majority of the wine. It's the grape that is the framework for this wine to happen. So we start with a regular wine, Valpolicella, a blend of three grapes. Beautiful, earthy, medium-bodied red wine. Goes great with food, great by itself. Okay, so that's Valpolicella, a blend of three grapes, like any other blend. Now, this is where it gets confusing. There's something called Amarone della Valpolicella, which means the Amarone of Valpolicella. What is Amarone? Amarone is a blend of the same three grapes that you found in the Valpolicella blend. But the difference is, what they do is they'll take the grapes, the three grapes we talked about, and they'll dry them out on racks until they're like raisins. Then they press the juice. It's a small amount of juice because a lot of the moisture is evaporated and it's concentrating all those bitter sugars. So they'll make a wine out of that, and it's very expensive because the grapes that make Amarone are the same grapes they make Valpolicella from, but they're a little more expensive. And the process in which Amarone is made is a little intense, a little bit labor intensive, and it's a little risky because when you're drying grapes out, you have to keep them cool, because if you don't, temperature becomes ambient temperature. That means fungus can grow and it can ruin the grapes. So there's a lot going in here. Beautiful, bitter, coffee, mocha, intense red wine. Great for really heavy dishes or just chilling out with some cheeses. Okay, are you with me? So, two different styles of the same blend. Then there's another blend, and they call that Ripasso delle Valpolicella. What that means is you have a vat making Valpolicella, regular blend. You have a vat making Amarone, regular blend, but done in a different way. When they press the grapes from the Amarone, the skins still have a lot of really nice residual sugar on them. It's actually called the pomace. After you press grapes, they have the pomace. So what they do is they take that pomace and they put it into the vat of the Valpolicella blend, the regular blend. And what they'll do is they'll repass the juice over and over and over, and that pomace will go into the regular Valpolicella blend and impart some of that sweetness into the Valpolicella. This is called the repass or ripasso. So you can have Valpolicella, you can have Amarone, or you can have ripasso. It's the Valpolicella, so it has that nice earthy, medium-bodied flavor, but it has these subtle hints of sweetness swimming through the tannin structure, intertwining itself through the fruit. It's beautiful. To make it even more interesting, there is a fourth style from the area of the Valpolicella using the same 3 grapes. You may have heard of a term called noble rot or botrytis.
Botrytis cinera is a necrotrophic fungus that affects many plant species, although its most notable hosts may be wine grapes.
When they're making Amarone, they don't want noble rot. They just want to dry those grapes out until they're like raisins. But then they have a wine called Recioto delle Valpolicella. Recioto, roughly translated in Italian, means ear. And what they used to do is they used to harvest the grapes for Amarone and Valpolicella, and on the top of the bunch, in the upper lobes of the bunch, there would be these botrytis noble rot affected grapes. They would pick those off, make the Amarone, make the Valpolicella, make the Ripasso, and then take those grapes, the smaller amount, and they make that into a noble rot wine called Recioto. This is a Recioto right here. You can see they always come in smaller bottles. They're pretty expensive, but they're red dessert wines, and they're sweet and bitter and peppery, and they go wonderfully with cheeses. Very cool. So as you can see, whenever you hear the term Valpolicella, there are different styles. So here's your arsenal of information to cut through the pretense. Whenever you go and you ask for a Valpolicella and someone says, well, do you know about Valpolicella? You can say, well, yes, actually, I'd like a Ripasso. Do you have a Ripasso? Enjoy. I hope I helped out.
Thank you, thank you. Wine to the people.